Instagram, TikTok. This is where I got this whole narrative. Green juices, salads, cute workout outfits, yoga classes. And I saw this so many times. You felt so connected to your body. I don't feel any of those things. Before I get into this episode, I want to say something to the moms who have dealt with miscarriages, are going through IVF and or trying to get pregnant. It's not lost on me that I got pregnant quickly and that is a blessing. And while I'm about to talk about my pregnancy journey in a very raw and honest way, I want you to know that I'm sending you love and I hold space for you throughout this episode and always. Welcome back to another episode of Just Alex. You guys, I'm really excited for today. It's just you and me, baby, and we're talking about pregnancy online versus pregnancy IRL in real life. And woof, I don't know about you, but I found myself vastly misled, maybe underprepared, but mainly misled. And here's why I want to talk about it. A lot of people that are my friends that have been pregnant or are pregnant right now or are online and will DM about pregnancy journey, they're feeling the same way I'm feeling. And I need to get it off my chest of like, hey guys, it's okay that, you thought you were going to feel so connected to your body and you thought that your house was going to be clean and you were going to have the energy to clean it. And you thought maybe you could order some really cute bump clothes that were biker shorts, and a matching bralette. And number one, you don't even want to wear that. But number two, it doesn't look cute on you right now. So you're not doing it, And it's okay if online set you up for a different expectation than what happened, because I have found that. And I think whenever we share our experiences, honestly, we feel a little less alone. And that's what this podcast is all about. The layout for this episode, we're going to talk about diet, body, and exercise. Okay. What I thought was going to happen, the green juices, the salads I thought I'd be able to get down, and how it turns out it's pizza. How that's affected my body, weight gain, exercise, lack thereof, talking all about that. And I've just been so sad kind of and confused about what I thought was going to happen versus what's happening. I'll leave it at that because that's the rest of the episode. Social isolation. I'm social. I'm inherently social. And I have been over here in a ball. And then hormones, these rages of like uncontrolled, that's how I put it. And then there's sadness, crying, and then working while pregnant. So we're going to get into all of that. And I want you guys to feel, I hope, less alone. Maybe you listen to this and think, what? She's crazy. But I really hope not. Now, here's the caveat to it. When I do a vulnerable episode, there's always something I'm afraid of. What I'm afraid of in this episode is like, what if I come off like I'm complaining or I'm not thankful to be able to have gotten pregnant and to give life to something? None of that is true, okay? We can't let those fears keep us from telling our truths, and I really believe in that. So let me say this off the top. I am overwhelmed with joy to be giving life to this baby girl, and she already means the world to me. But two things can be true at the same time. I'm overjoyed, and I'm also struggling with the process of getting there, okay? And I think it's important to share that. So the hormone story that I'll say off the top before we do diet and body and exercise is there was a day, because I'm in Austin, it reminds me of it. We were going to Joe Rogan's Mothership comedy show. We're in the Uber on the way there. Comedy shows work like this. Everyone buys a ticket, but there's no assigned seating. So the sooner you get there, the better your seat. Harrison wanted to get there soon. He wanted to see this lineup. So we're in the Uber and we have 2 blocks left, but it's backed up and it's jammed. Harrison says, we'll get out and walk here. I look at him and I say, oh, no, my back is killing me. I can't walk from here. And he's like, you can walk 2 blocks, Alex. Come on, we'll get a better seat. Says to the Uber driver again, sir, stop, we'll get out here. I had a canned water in my hand. He's talking walking 2 blocks. We get out of the Uber and I look at him and I turn that canned water over and I just squeeze the water out on his head. And he's just standing there. He's not moving. He is just staring at me like she is pouring water on my head. And I was like, and I throw the can on the ground for dramatic effect. And I'm like, did you want to ask me next time if I was okay getting out of the Uber? And instead of being like, you're a crazy hormonal person, he looked at me soaking wet. I mean, this water was full. He looks at me soaking wet. And he was like, do you think you can walk 2 blocks? And I just start laughing. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I think I can walk 2 blocks. And I'm sorry about that water on you. And he jokingly sprinkled some water on me. But like, there are moments like that where you just lose control. And you get so mad. I felt like like these are the words I felt. Neglect. I felt neglect around him just saying we will walk 2 blocks. I felt not loved, isolated, alone. Like, I am not describing, a trauma situation. I'm just describing walking. Anyways, I of course picked up the can, threw it away, went to the comedy show. We had a blast. He was a bit cold the whole time, right? Because he was wet. But nonetheless, it's stories like that we can all laugh about together, right? You know what I mean? Moms to be. Please tell me you know what I mean. Okay. Diet and exercise. Well, what I thought pregnancy was going to look like was green juices, salads, cute workout outfits, Instagram, TikTok. This is where I got this whole narrative. Cute little workout outfits where your arm, like you just gained weight in your belly. You're one of those that carried the basketball, right? But you didn't gain weight anywhere else. Pilates, yoga classes, right? And you felt so, and I saw this so many times, you felt so connected to your body. I don't feel any of those things, nor do I have the energy. I have constant nausea and the lowest energy. If I get a burst of energy the first half of the day, I'll think, and I've had to learn this lesson so many times, but I will think, oh, today's going to be a good one. 2 p.m. hits. I can't get out of the bed. I went to bed last night. I got in the bed at 2. I did not go. I went to sleep around 8 and just conked out. And I mean, I had a fabulous deep, it was like I hadn't slept in days type of sleep. And I have that every night right now. I think I'm lucky because I know a lot of people have insomnia, but I am just conking out for 12, 14 hours sometimes. And I need every bit of it. And I wake up and I don't feel super energized. I wake up and I'm like, whew, here we go. We're going to do it again. So I have a couple notes here that I do want to refer to because I really like to sugarcoat this part and say everything's okay. I want you to hear this from me because I was a regimented person pre-pregnancy. Notoriously ate really healthy, especially during the week. Didn't really care what I was eating. It was a lot of chicken, a lot of veggies, a lot of eggs in the morning. I was high protein. And I boxed 6 days a week, 5 to 6 days a week. I would run and I always would walk everywhere in New York. And so when I got pregnant, I was probably in a top 5 best shape of my life, right? So pregnancy hits and everyone told me it's an old myth to say eat for 2. Don't eat for 2, sweetheart. You eat for about 1.25 in the first trimester. Okay, is that for everybody? Because what was happening to me was I ate for 1 before and I've doubled, if not doubled and then some to my eating. So I'm definitely eating for what I consider 2. And then people tell you, the doctor said to me, there's an amount you're supposed to gain and you're over that. There's an amount we're all supposed to gain. Because I'm 5'9", 5'10". Am I supposed to gain the same amount as someone that's 5'2"? Or 6', are we all supposed to gain the same amount? There's no way. That's like saying the keto diet works for everyone. And we all know that that's not true. So those were the first to eat for 1.25 and gain a certain amount. Okay, I'm eating for 3, it feels like, and I apparently have gained over the alleged amount you're supposed to gain But I want to say this, I don't know what that number is because I'm not letting her tell me the number on the scale because it doesn't matter. Why it doesn't matter is because when it comes to me selecting food and the amount of time I eat food, you guys, I am starving. I'm famished, and if I eat a salad, it doesn't do the trick. I feel sicker if I eat a salad. If I can even swallow the salad, it needs to be like eggs in the morning and avocado. Those do work. So my breakfast is pretty healthy. Berries, avocado, eggs. Because I have the morning sickness that comes around noon. So breakfast, good. But lunch, I mean, it's a deli sandwich. I know, don't eat turkey. I crave it. I haven't gotten whatever you can get from Turkey. So I like my odds there. You can come at me in the DM. Actually, DM Harrison, don't DM me. Tell him all about it. Because I care a lot. But I've read so much about turkey I'm not at war with turkey. I'm good with turkey. And I had sandwiches, French fries, chips, pizza at night, enchiladas at night, and chicken tenders throughout the day. But not Chick-fil-A chicken tenders because I throw those up. I am at war with Chick-fil-A. So I think I want like the real life fried chicken. And you know what? I know that those things aren't quote unquote healthy. And I really thought when I got pregnant, I'll eat yogurt and granola. Maybe I'll have a sweet tooth and I'll get a cookie. Holy shit, people. I am famished. We were in a meeting yesterday at 3 and I was sitting on the bed in this hotel room. And I was like, whoa, like I'm shaking and my brain isn't working. I said, sorry guys, I'm going to go off screen. I got to grab these. There's Pringles, in the mini bar. So I grabbed the big red tube of original Pringles and I dusted the whole thing just sitting there. And you know what that was? That was a matter of like shaking and having enough brain power to get through the meeting or not. And in moments like that, it's just like a no-brainer. You grab that food. And so I'm hard on myself because I'm like, you're not eating healthy. You're eating kind of like shit most days. And you know what? That's what my body wants, and your body knows best. I'm not going to sugarcoat that anymore. I'm just going to leave that there. Exercise. I have not been to an exercise class yet. If I go on a walk, that is the equivalent of a full day of workout for me, and that is good enough. When I first got pregnant, I would try to make myself go. I have a gym in my apartment back when we lived in New York, because now I'm a Texas girl. I don't have a house, by the way. I'll tell you on my Insta story. So I would go to the gym, and I would take my ball of bands, and I would try to do 30 minutes of workout. Lethargic. I would go back. I would get in bed. And it would really kick my butt for the day. So then I said, okay, maybe working out's not for me. Maybe I have only a little bit of energy that I should use everywhere else to just live a semi-normal day, right? That's working out a lot better. Now in the second trimester, I can do a walk some days, not every day. I went on a 10-minute walk this morning. So proud of myself. Beautiful. That's good. But I want to say this because I boxed 6 days a week. I was so active. You know what? Working out gave me energy. Now working out takes away my energy. So it's hard, guys, pause. It's hard for me as a podcaster saying these things like I should sugarcoat, we love our bodies. I should sugarcoat, like it's really okay that I don't work out and I'm fine with that. It bothers me that I can't work out. I want to be able to go on a run. And I see people at the gym like deadlifting. And it's just, that's not working for me. It makes my days worse. And this leads me to body image. Okay. Maybe as real as I possibly can here. Okay. So cause and effect, right? Eating worse, eating more, not working out. What do we think's happening? Well, I'm gaining weight. Obviously, I'm making a baby. How do I feel about that? There's a level of acceptance that had to happen. Some women say in pregnancy they hate their body. I don't hate my body. I don't love my body. What I've tried to do, whether this is good or bad, I don't know, is kind of detach from the part of what I look like. Does that make sense? That's as honest as I can get. Because I understand I need to eat what I need to eat, and working out is just not going to be a fit for me. Baby number one, maybe baby number two will be. And so, okay, there are some women that just carry a basketball. I get pregnant everywhere. My arms are pregnant. My legs are pregnant. My face is pregnant. But that's what's required for me to have this little bit sweet little baby. But does that make it easy on me? No, it doesn't. I definitely look in the mirror and think, okay, yup, we're puffy. We're puffy. But, and hey, we weren't puffy back in December. We weren't puffy then. And man, it kind of happened fast. Well, that's just the reality of it. So I'm going to leave it at, not by no means do I hate my body. And I feel for you though if you do. Like counting calories. I definitely, I'll be honest with you, tried that like the first 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, let's try to get around like 2,200 maybe. No, like fuck that. I'm not counting those things for the life of me. And you know what? There are days where I can get my mind here, which is like, this is the only time in our life when we get to eat. I don't have to work out. I get in bed, sometimes at 5, sometimes at 7, and I just watch movies. And I listen, there's a little part of me that's having a little bit of fun with that. But it's fun mixed with it's like I'm mean to myself. And I'm like, you should be able to get out of bed. And it's like, I can't. I can't get out of bed. I don't have energy. I can't choke down a salad. And so it's this level of acceptance of just like, it is what it is. And then you make the most of that. And I hope some of you can identify with what I'm saying. I looked up some articles and it seems like some people are experiencing this as well. And hey, I want to have 4 kids. So sign me up for this journey, 3 more times. And I'll do it every time. But I really want to nail home, I am tough on myself. And I tell myself, offer myself grace. There's some moments, there are better days than other where I can do that. And then there are days where I'm just so mean to myself. And when I start to be mean to myself of I wish you could get out of bed and just go on a 30-minute walk, that I can't organize those feelings. So then I start crying out of frustration that I'm angry with myself. So, but don't message me at the end of the day. Don't send me this DM. At the end of the day, just be thankful you're having the baby. I'm thankful. I am so thankful. But me being thankful, I don't think makes any of us feel less alone on the journey. Okay. Now we pivot to social isolation. Hold on. Nope. Before we go to social isolation, let me say one more thing. I've noticed a tip because a lot of people are messaging me tips. And I love these tips. And I try them all. Keeping food on me does help. Hard-boiled eggs, cottage cheese, chicken salad. Those are healthier, high-protein things that do sound good to me most of the time. So if I have those on me and I don't let myself, I eat about every hour and a half, I find. And it's like 3 hard-boiled eggs. And there are moments where it's the tub of cottage cheese. And I'm like, if I have that on me, when I flew here yesterday, I took my modern picnic purse with ice in it, cottage cheese, eggs, chicken salad, and an avocado in it. If I have those on me, I eat it throughout the day. And I do find less crashes does make me feel better. And high protein items does make me feel better. Then the next thing is Unisom and B6. Figuring out the doses of those mixed together. It really did help with the nausea. So, and I got some nausea medicine from my doctor. I don't know the name of it. It starts with an R, but that's also it's been helping. So those are little tidbits. Okay. Social isolation. I am notoriously very social and love to be social. It's how I charge my battery. Pregnancy for me is anti-mother trucking social. Where it started was early on, about week 4 or 5. I had an Alice and Olivia fitting, and they had their fashion show the next day. I hadn't told anybody I was pregnant. I had that water weight on me. And by water weight, let me give you a stat, okay? Here's a cold, hard stat. I went up 3 sizes at Alice and Olivia. I went to a fitting in December, and by end of January, I was up 3 sizes. So you can't argue with me there. All right. So I go in and I'm low on energy. I had social anxiety leading up to it. I knew I had the fitting on a Thursday. Starting on Monday, I was really anxious, and I was like, what if I get sick while I'm there? What if, everyone just thinks, what's happening with Alex? I was worried about the perception of them on me. That, if we're being honest, actually, that's probably more what it was. Not necessarily if I got sick, because you can always say you have food poisoning, which I said a lot. But I was worried about what they thought of me. Okay, that would be the honest answer. And I'm being honest. So, I was worried about what they thought of me. And I worried they'd be like, oh, my God, she gained weight. Holy cow, she has no energy. Like, what's going on with Alex? Is Alex trying to get pregnant? Could Alex be pregnant? Is Alex doing hormone stuff? Is she freezing her eggs? Like, all these things I was in my head about and I was worried about. And they were like, Sammy is one of my best friends who is my stylist there. Could not have been more lovely. I told her, I said, okay, I've got some hormone things going on. I've gone up a couple sizes. She's like, no big deal, girl. We all do it. People, here's the thing. Most of the time, if you start saying it out loud, people are incredibly gracious to what you're saying. She brings me the most adorable clothes on the planet, okay? And she's got high energy. Like, every time the door closed, I started crying. Just tears in my eyes because I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, whoa, girl, what happened? And boy, that happened fast. You're puffy. You're trying on clothes and you're like, I don't feel like myself. I don't have energy. And I found it really isolating for me. It doesn't make any sense, and it was no one's fault. It was clearly no one's fault. It was an internal experience that I had where I was like, whoa. She put me in the blue and white striped suit that's on my Instagram. I couldn't have looked better, to be honest. But it didn't matter. Like, I can sit here and say I looked great, but it didn't matter because inside of my body, I felt sad, frustrated, scared. I felt scared. I was like, whoa, I'm 4 weeks in. A homegirl found out early. Like, I got a long way to go on this, and like, I don't feel good, and I don't have the energy to walk home. And wait, what? Like, I was like, it was too soon, and I hadn't processed it yet. Okay. The result of this was I started canceling things left, right, and center. And I was canceling them because if I would go somewhere and somebody wasn't having an experience I had, I found that I shut down. So, for example, if someone was like, oh my gosh, like, I've had 3 kids, I loved pregnancy. I was like, oh, I'm not really like there yet with it. And I would get really sad. And I found that overwhelming. So I kind of started to just not shell off. Yeah, is a fine way to say it. But I mentioned shelling off in the divorce episode. This is totally different, right? Because I'm really leaning on my friends who have had babies, and they're helping me register and talking to me about, help you might want or might not want. And I don't feel isolated from them in the least. I feel really connected to them. I feel isolated from going to social events. So shell off's not the right word, but I would rather be in my bed with my laptop working or watching TV. That's really my happy place. And Harrison and I just started dating. I love it. Harrison and I just started dating, and also I'm pregnant. I really love that boy, you guys. And the baby, a little side note here. I've noticed the baby, he's been gone. He's meeting me here in Austin today, actually. But the baby kicks more when dad's around. And I think it's the cutest thing on the planet because I'm like, oh, are you going to be daddy's little girl? And nothing warms my heart more than that. And so I haven't felt her kicks a lot. So I'm excited to see him because she kicks a lot when I'm around him. So I think she loves her daddy. And now I've lost my train of thought because that made me happy. Social isolation. Yes, I think it's okay to say I'm just happy staying in. My ideal night is sweatpants, start around 4. No, those are all day. Those are definitely all day. I'm sorry that I just did that to you. My most comfy, though, my sleep sweats or my pajamas start around 4. I start to get in bed and I keep working. I work kind of throughout we're startup mode. So it's work, show. And you know what I am? I'm really happy being in bed. And I think when you find yourself in a funk, depression, anxiety, and you're not pregnant, what's good for me there is for me to get out of my own head and to go out, to go to dinner, to go on a walk outside, and being around people recharges me. With pregnancy, it doesn't do that. It does the opposite. So just saying it's okay that you want to be inside. And maybe people will message me and be like, listen, try going out more. I don't know. I will. I've tried it. Here was what I was going to say. Harrison and I just started dating. So we're meeting a lot of people's friends. Like I'm meeting some of his friends when we go to Orange County, for example, when we were in Miami. He's got friends in all these places and so do I. And we'll schedule dinners with them. And most of the time I end up canceling. We were on our way in Nashville to see his best friend and his wife. And Harrison was so excited. And we're driving there, and I'm just like, pull over. And I just start throwing up outside the car. And I just look at him with tears in my eyes, and I'm like, and you feel a little better after you have that throw up. And I just look at him, I'm like, what if that happens again in an hour? I'm just still so sick. And he's like, let's go back. Like, you'll be more comfortable. And so being able to communicate with people is taking the pressure off of just like, Harrison will be there. Alex is a maybe. And by maybe, she's a 90% no, she's not coming. And I think, listen, I know I'll bounce right back after because I love being social. So I know when I feel, I hope I bounce back. I guess I don't know. I've heard postpartum can do, who knows what that journey will be. And of course, I'll be candid with you on it. But I hope to be social again pretty soon after. But for now, I've just come to terms with we're hanging out with Alex. And I love being with Harrison. Right now, I feel really safe with him. So I think that's because we don't have a home base. But that's the social isolation component. So if you're going through that, I feel for you. And that's why I've been like responding to every comment online. I'm just like, hi, same. Or I feel this or I feel that because I find it really happy and connecting. So I've been loving that. Okay. Hormones. So we're full, I call these hormones, these pregnancy hormones, a period on steroids, times 100. And what I have to say about this is I think that the estrogen, progesterone, the cortisol, the stress hormones, they affect our neurotransmitters, right? Which affect like our mood swings. I find not trying to hold that back to be better for me. For example, there was the pouring the water on Harrison's head story and just letting myself do that, even though I say to him, I know that seemed so crazy. He says, you're growing a baby, Alex. You could be a little crazy right now. And I think us as women, we try so hard not to be crazy. Well, let it go, girl. Because let me tell you what, you can't control it. This is the portion I want to laugh at. Diet and body, I wanted to be really, and exercise, I wanted to be really serious and honest with you guys. And social isolation, like I'm definitely having that. Hormones, for sure, I find them hilarious in moments like this. I find there's the side of hormones where I get overwhelmed and I just start bawling, crying because I'm angry that I'm crying, right? That's the compounding effect. And there's that side of hormones, of course. And if you feel that where it's like, okay, here, I'll give you the bad side. when I was packing to move here, Harrison left early because he had a work event in Chicago. So I was there for a night by myself. I was looking at not a ton to pack, okay? Maybe 10% left to pack. He had really done most of it. And I just couldn't do it in a timely manner. And I crumbled. And I was like so mad that I crumbled. I was like, why can't you just pack those clothes? Now I look back on it and I just say, honey, you couldn't do it because you're overwhelmed easily. You're low on energy. And to chalk it up to this, you feel like shit. That's why you couldn't do it, okay? We all know last year, normal Alex could have packed that in 5 minutes. So there's that side where it's things like seem like a mountain, but up close they are an anthill. Now, the other side of hormones is the bacon story, as I call it. We were at breakfast, and we order the same thing, and then we always split bacon and berries, Harrison and I, if we go to breakfast. There was one piece of bacon left. Well done, crispy bacon. It was so good. Harrison ate the last piece of bacon. Notoriously, Harrison can eat the last piece of anything, but I'm pregnant. He ate that last piece of bacon, and I started crying. I was like, you don't love me. Why do you think you can eat the last piece of bacon, the last anything? Like, the last 30% of food is mine. I'm starving, and food is my Super Bowl of the day. So again, he just looks at me and he's like, okay, hold on. So he flags down the waiter. Waiter comes over. He's like, can we get one more order of well done bacon? I'm like, no, we're good. We don't need another order of well done bacon. Thank you, sir. And the waiter walks off. And Harrison looks at me and he's like, it would solve it. Even if you just want one piece, I can eat the other. No, because I wanted that piece of bacon, Harrison. That was my piece of bacon, and you should have known that I wanted it. You should have known that I wanted it. How would he know that I wanted the last piece of bacon? He's like, I should have known. You know, in his mind, like I know in these guys' minds, they're like, yeah, of course I should have known that because you didn't say it out loud, Alex. Of course I should be a mind reader. But in the moment, I'm like, you don't have to stop it. You can just let it go, girl. Let it go, girl. And I love these boys that are like, that makes a lot of sense. So we developed a rule. And it is, he checks with me now. He'll be like, do you want the third to last piece? And I'll be like, you can have half and I want the other 2.5. Okay. Now, overorder food. It says that's important. I want 1 pizza bagel. I want 3 pizza bagels, and just bring me 3 in case I want 2. And it's just an irrational amount of thinking about food and my feelings, right? And it's, we really can laugh about it, but in that moment, it's essential to just say, let it go. Don't try to tailor it, because if I try to be like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. It comes out. It oozes out in different ways. And those hormonal stories, I think are hilarious. Okay? Because they're just very real. And your brain, logic goes out the door. Hormones come in the door. And your mouth is just going. And so this is my area of optimism where I'm like, you can laugh at yourself. I'm sure everyone has just this story of like, and the cupcake wound up in his face. And it cracks me up. Now, one area that I want to wrap her on up with is working. Moms that go to desk jobs, labor-intensive jobs, are on their feet all day from 9 to 5. You are my hero. You're incredible, because we work, like I mentioned, kind of all day. We're startup mode, but I can work from bed, right? I can go camera off on a Zoom call in bed and talk, and I can still do the job for the most part. My heart goes out to people that go to the office. I think we have maternity leave. We should have first trimester, like, are you okay? Leave for the day. You know, and Just Media will implement this. If somebody is like, hey, I'm pregnant, I will be like, okay, you let me know when morning sickness hits at 2 p.m. because you can still go home and work, but please do it from bed. And there's a level of comfort of just being in your bed, knowing you have your food, knowing you have your toilet, your trash can to throw up in. That to me, I think is like, whew. But I think these women you guys are rock stars. And so what I want to say around it is I've had to learn to offer myself some grace in this department, because I'll say billions of people have had babies. We can all, of course, go to work, and we can. Of course we can, but it doesn't mean that that's not hard. It doesn't mean that there are days where I get on calls and I wipe the tears away and I'm just like, I feel overwhelmed and this is hard. And if I'm having a hard time and I'm at home in my bed, I can't imagine the hard time that you are having. And so I want to say to you, please offer yourself some grace. Don't get mad at yourself if you're like, I should be able to be tougher than this. Because what I don't want to be perceived at work is weak. And I think a lot of people can identify with that. I don't want people that I work with to be like, Alex can't get on the call because she's pregnant. Everyone's had babies. I don't want people to think that. But you know what, you guys? That narrative in my head doesn't help me. It doesn't help anybody. What helps me is to say, hey, it's okay. You're having a hard day. Can you just embrace that? If you need to push a meeting, like Harrison texted me the other day and he said, I want you to normalize in your head needing to push meetings, Alex, because there's not toughness right now isn't you saying I can do it. Toughness right now is you admitting, hey, I'm having a hard time. And that is okay to offer yourself that level of grace. So I want to say that to you all. And I want to wrap with this. It's not lost on us. I know this for moms, soon to be moms, moms that are thinking about it. It truly is the most special experience on the planet to be growing a baby. And there are things every day. A couple of things happen. One, you wake up and you're pregnant 24/7, honey. You don't set this bump down. It is attached to you. Okay. But with that comes constant learning. I went to my anatomy scan. They're counting the fingers and the toes. I'm a little over halfway and I'm like, there's a brain, there's eye sockets. It's a fully formed little baby. And it's going to be mine. It's going to be half me. It's going to be half Harrison. I could not be more excited. But it does not mean that the journey has to look like this beautiful, I wake up every day, I have my pregnancy glow. People tell me I have the pregnancy glow. I hope I have it. I am happy. But I also have these moments of like, go on a walk, Alex. Do you seriously have to eat 3 enchiladas in the whole thing? Yes, I do. I seriously do. And that's hard on you. Yes, I need to eat that. Yes, that is hard on me. And so I just want to have this level of honesty with you of it's not green juices and it's not Pilates for me and it's not cute workout gear. I don't think the workout gear doesn't go over the bump. I don't think any of them are comfortable. I really don't. I did find some good ones on Amazon that I will link, but it's okay that it's frustrating and that it's hard. And it's okay to say, but I also know that is worth it. And it is so worth it. And so we're going to wrap there, you guys. I love you all. Next week, we have Sam Parr on, who is like a financial expert, entrepreneur. He sold a company for tens of millions of dollars. He has My First Million podcast. He's also a father. So it's finance meets parenting. And then the next week after that, Harrison and I are going to do our finance episode where we discuss budgeting for a kid, how much we would spend on a night nurse, nannying, things like that, what a kid can cost. Also, we're going to do our prenup on there. We're going to talk to you guys about how we're buying this house. He wants me to feel empowered around money. So I'm going to talk to you all about that. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. Thank you for listening. And mother truck and subscribe, especially if you made it this far. Subscribe. Okay, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Just Alex, powered by Just Media House. If you enjoyed the show, which I think you did because you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. All of those things are so important. Stay connected on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Just Alex Pod. Post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Just Alex Pod by Gideon Shawkin and Denisha. I'm Just Alex, you're just you. Let's keep doing this thing. New episodes every Thursday.